Hello. Not only are my producers not here, but neither is my co-host. I don't know what's going on.
Is this the real deal?
Yeah, who are you?
This fucking chair. The name's Brian O'Brien. I'm investigating the disappearances of many members of the show. You must be Owen.
The detective? What? Is this like some kind of joke?
Is your face a joke? No. I'm afraid not. You're our prime suspect.
Hello and welcome to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I am your host, Owen DeWeese, and apparently I might be getting arrested.
Well, not yet. We don't have enough evidence.
Well, I can assure you I didn't do this. Plus, Harrison has been missing, and Mary's been acting really weird.
Harrison? Mary? Are those more students that have gone missing?
Not exactly. Mary did say something about this all being her fault. What do you think that she meant by that?
So, where exactly were Mary and Harrison's role in the show?
They're ghosts.
Okay. What?
On to our first segment.
Hello, I'm Nathan Hill, and welcome to Something for Nothing, the segment in which I teach you about places where you can find movies, games, and entertainment for free. Our last segment was on the half live TV, half traditional streaming service platform, Pluto TV, but it's hardly the only free streaming service available to the masses. Enter Tubi, a Fox-owned service with multiples of TV shows and movies to stream. Despite what its apparent pedigree would suggest, however, most of the programs worth watching on the platform aren't actually sourced from Fox, partly due to the fact that this service hails from the remains of Rupert Murdoch's Fox Corporation after Disney's buyout of the 20th Century division of the company. No, instead, the program list is largely comprised of a scattershot grab bag of B-tier content, but still not without a few diamonds in the rough. Fight Club is available to stream on the platform, as is The Karate Kid and the perennial Jim Henson classic Labyrinth. Cult movies are also well represented on the platform. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Trailer Park Boy films are accounted for, as is the infamously terrible 50s B-movie classic Plan 9 from Outer Space. Many episodes of MST3K are also featured on the platform, including what is arguably the series' most famous episode, Manus to Hands of Fate. Meanwhile, fans of exploitation cinema will be pleased with the inclusion of Dolomite and its various sequels among the app's roster. Perhaps the most filled-out selection the app has to offer, however, is in its anime catalog. It shares series with Naruto, Bleach, and Yu-Gi-Oh! With Pluto TV, but also features hugely popular series one might not expect to see on the platform, like Cowboy Bebop, Pop Team Epic, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, as well as 90s benchmarks of the medium like Akira, Project Echo, and Urusei Yatsura, Beautiful Dreamer. My main complaint with the service is that its selection of programs worth watching is limited compared to Pluto's. The latter's live TV feature held many exclusives that would otherwise be unavailable on such a service, and Tubi shows the dark reality of a service without such a draw. A wasteland of B-movies, unfunny teen sex comedies, and original programming that literally nobody asked for. Overall, the service is a mixed bag, but it overall feels much sloppier than Pluto's service. Without Pluto's live TV function and the opportunities for licensed programming it provided, Tubi comes off as a sloppy substitute for premium services like Netflix and Hulu. But what diamonds in the rough are there really do shine, and their anime selection is hard to beat without looking to a more niche service specifically dedicated to the medium. Check it out if any of the shows or movies I have listed interest you, but know that there isn't much to watch beyond them. Except for Megamind and Barnyard, which are also featured on the service. I'm Nathan Hill, and you get what you pay for.
Ghosts?
Yeah, the UML, you know, this room that we're in, this really big room, it's like haunted.
I didn't know this. You know, I've heard many things. For example, like someone told me once I was a vampire, but that's not real. Nothing's real. Ghosts, vampires, well, you're real, probably.
What are you talking about?
talking about how fake you're sounding. You're just lying to me in front of my face. You're saying ghosts are real. I'm saying vampires aren't real.
I think you're faking. You are not a detective, are you?
Might as well be.
That is not the same thing. Where is my co-host and where are my producers?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Okay, Mr. Detective. What leads have you got so far?
Well, I know that 5 students have gone missing, and I know that they were part of this here podcast that I just found now.
No kidding. I had no idea. Thank God you're here.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty good, you know.
So, besides that we already knew, is there anything else that you found out?
No, it's what we're here for.
Great. Let's move on to the next segment.
Hey again, so if you haven't learned already, I like movies, just like a lot of other people, obviously. And as executive producer here at The Real Deal, I always want to mix things up and add new things to our show to make them more fun and interesting. And with that being said, I came up with a brand new idea, a sort of smaller show that I will present each time I do a segment. My girlfriend talked to me about the idea of doing a popcorn review, kind of like Dave Portnoy from Barstool where he does pizza reviews, but instead of reviewing pizza, I would review popcorn from different movie theaters that I go to when I watch movies. Now, if there comes a time where I see a movie at a place I've already gone to before and review their popcorn, then I might just stick to reviewing the movie and not doing the popcorn review at that place again, unless I think they deserve a second one bite. Now, with that in mind, I would like to pass my segment off to Drew from the past and introduce to you the first episode of Drew Goes to the Movies. Roll the clip. Drew Goes to the Movies. Alright, Jake, popcorn review time. We're here at Indiana State Museum, about to see No Time to Die. It is October 8th, 2021. We got small popcorn. Let's take a deep dive of this. Check this out. Won't buy everybody knows the rules. It's got a good buttery taste to it, you know? Not too hot though. It's okay. I'm thinking like a 7.2, something like that. Just gotta put the mash back on that one. I'm gonna stay safe. So that's popcorn review. We're here at Indiana State Museum, like I said. I'm about to see No Time Die, and we'll check back with you later, future Drew. Give us a review. Drew went to the movies. Thank you, Drew, from the past for that lovely first popcorn review. Now, if I'm going to be honest, after eating that entire bag of popcorn while I was watching No Time to Die, I think a new score is in order. Final score of the Indiana State Museum IMAX Theater popcorn, 6.4 out of 10. You might not have been able to see it, but the bag of popcorn that it came in was so outdated looking. All it said on the bag of popcorn was popcorn. I mean, how generic can you be? Why not just put a picture of Daniel Craig as Bond or something on it since I saw it on the opening day? I really don't think it can be that hard. Anyways, now with popcorn review out of the way, I think it's time we talk about the movie I saw, No Time to Die. No Time to Die is the final James Bond movie starring Daniel Craig as Agent 007. After numerous delays and me patiently waiting months on end, I finally got to see it and was for sure one of my favorites from Daniel Craig's era. It follows Bond after retiring from the agent service as he and his new love, Madeline Swan, played by Léa Seydoux, head off on vacation. Soon he is called back to join the fight as a new villain played by Rami Malek sets off creating a new dangerous technology that can infect the entire world. Bond fights for the one last time, hoping to put an end to the terrorist group known as Spectre and finally be able to live a peaceful life. Along the way, we reconnect with the likes of M, played by Ralph Fiennes, Q, played by Ben Whishaw, and Felix Leiter, played by Jeffrey Wright. We are also introduced to a few new characters. Lashana Lynch plays Nomi, the female agent that takes over for Bond after he retires and becomes the new 007. Also, Ana de Armas makes an appearance as Colombian CIA agent known as Paloma that Bond works with during the movie. Overall, what I was left with is what I can say is really good ending for the Bond movies, and Daniel Craig gave such an amazing performance. Like any other Bond movie, there's a lot of action in this movie and some really incredible fight scenes. When the action begins to happen, it keeps going on and never slows down. It really did keep me hooked and wanting to see what happens next. Sometimes, though, I feel that the Bond movies drags out too long with a lot of pointless filler in between until it gets to what it really matters at the end. I think with No Time to Die, it was the exact opposite. The journey throughout the movie all had purpose and meaning to it. So when it got to those final moments before the credits rolled, I felt everything up until that had meaning behind it, and the path Bond took along the way was beneficial in helping bring the entire movie to a full stop. My one major complaint, though, with No Time to Die is that the antagonist, Rami Malek, Now, it's not that I don't think he's a bad actor, but Safin, his character, is just not really well-written villain. He lacks really any sort of motives or memorable things about him, so in the end, he became pretty forgetful to me. But even with that, I still really enjoyed everyone else's performances. No Time to Die calls back to previous Bond movies, which is nice to see. It kind of makes it like a Bond cinematic universe, kind of like Marvel. It might do you good to watch a few YouTube videos to help you get up to date with everything that has happened and is happening before watching No Time to Die. So, with the final installment in Craig's Bond series tallying in at a whopping 2 hours and 43 minutes, there's a lot to unpack there. But for the sake of brevity, I feel it is best to say for you just to watch it yourself to discover everything that happens in this epic finale. I really enjoyed this one and would go as far as to say it just might be my second favorite Bond movie, that being Behind Casino Royale. Make sure to go check it out at your local theater near you, and I'm praying you have a better popcorn experience than I did. That's all I have for you this week. I'm Drew Schuler, and I will see you next time.
So let me get this straight. You have no leads.
I have leads. I'm here, aren't I?
Well, if you don't have leads, then why don't you go investigate?
You
Don't
know,
kick rocks.
I think that's a pretty good idea.
I don't like that guy's vibes. I don't like what he's doing here.
Are you okay? What happened? Is everyone safe?
What happened? Half of the crew is nowhere to be found. I don't have a co-host, so if we're going purely by body count here, then I guess we're safe.
I'm trying my best to hold on here, but they're just stronger than me. They should be back soon.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
The producers are back now? What did she do? There's so much drama, I don't know what's going on. So let's hand it over to Emily while I text the rest of the crew and see what's going on. Probably should have done that first.
Hey friends, I'm Emily and I'm here with yet another news segment. Today I'm going to be talking about a trending show on Netflix called Made. I am sure you all are familiar with it or have at least heard about it, and if not, I'm going to be introducing you to it with hopes that you'll start the first episode. At first I was wary about starting it because I usually always have a problem with being bored or falling asleep within the first 5 minutes. When I finally gained the courage, I realized that it would not be a problem. Made is about a single mother named Alex that turns to house cleaning to make ends meet as she escapes an abusive relationship and overcomes homelessness to create a better life for her daughter Maddie. This show gives hope to any individual that is struggling in an abusive relationship. While it may not be easy to escape out of an abusive relationship for anyone, Alex demonstrates hard work and dedication to live a better life. The fact that this is based on a true story and exemplifies the real-life stories of hundreds of thousands of people living in this never-ending cycle. It is a show that every employer, parent, and everyone needs to see when deciding how to treat someone before knowing what they're going through at home. This movie also puts a face to those on government assistance. Alex goes through 7 types of government assistance in the show, and every one of them is much needed. She is not abusing the system, instead the system is failing her. It is hard to watch in the best way possible. It makes you uncomfortable about things that should make you comfortable. I recommend watching it, and that's all for my segment today. I'll catch you next time.
I found them. So good at my job. Why hasn't the detective agency hired me yet? I should basically be in the FBI.
Yeah, good job finding them, I guess. What happened to them?
That information's classified, sir.
Classified by who?
Maybe not yet, but it will be soon. Just sometime soon.
Get out of here. See ya. Bye. Thank you for finding my crew.
You're welcome.
Cool. Now, with all that out of the way, let's talk about my thing. Over the last couple weekends, I have been watching a lot of movies, mostly comedies, but I've also been watching a lot of spooky movies. 'Tis the season. I almost decided to talk about Pineapple Express today, but I forgot it's almost Halloween, so I'll save that for another time. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite Halloween movies with all of your favorite things, sandworms, poltergeists, and some nice models. Honk honk. I'm of course talking about Beetlejuice. This 1988 fantasy comedy classic stars some big name actors like Michael Keaton, who has played Batman as the titular anti-hero, Beetlejuice. Alec Baldwin as Adam Maitland and Gina Davis as his wife Barbara, just to name a few. It's as weird as it is funny because Tim Burton directed it. The movie starts by introducing the Maitlands in their attempt to clean up their new home. This is shortly lived, pun fully intended, because they die about 5 minutes in. They're then just ghosts trapped at their home and they can't leave. They watch as the Dietz's family buys their home and starts turning it into a weird, minimalist, cubey, artsy house, for lack of better terms. So the Maitlands try to scare him out of the house because they're rightfully pretty PO'd about the whole thing. After their attempts fail and instead make the Dietz's excited about selling tickets to their haunted attraction, they call up notorious poltergeist Beetlejuice to aid them in their efforts, despite numerous warnings from the Afterlife Bureau not to do so. The movie's a classic, and I honestly think I'm really dumb for waiting 18 years to watch it. It's definitely interesting, and it has a lot to do with what went down behind the scenes. During the writing process, the studio wanted to name the movie House of Ghosts. Tim Burton mockingly suggested that they name it Scared Sheetless instead, and he was horrified when they actually approved it. Although that would be super on point for the comedy of the movie, I think I like Beetlejuice more. Michael Keaton ad-libbed about 90% of his lines, and although that sounds like a lot, keep in mind he was only on screen for about 14 minutes through the whole thing. Along with Spaceballs, Big, and Caddyshack 2, it is notable for containing the F word in a film rated PG. Apparently that was before they started really cracking down on that. With a budget of $15 million, they made both a classic and a box office smash hit, grossing nearly $74 million. That's all I have this time, and I guess I'm shutting it all down this week. So if you like what we've got, check us out, our Twitter, Facebook, and our website for all things entertainment. I'm your host, Owen DeWeese. I'll see you next time on The Real Deal.